In this video, we will talk all about APIs gateways. We will be coming along with different features of API gateway and how we can implement that in our project. Till now, you can see that we have implemented 5 different projects in our application: the currency calculation service, the currency exchange service, and the limit service. And along with it, we have created a Eureka naming server and a Spring Cloud config server. So for all these microservices, we will need to implement some of the common features. This can be authentication and authorization or rate limit. That is, if you want to execute a certain number of requests, say 1000 requests per hour or in a day. So for that, we can use the rate limit. Or if your application or say one microservice is dependent on another microservice and that microservice is not up and running, so in those kind of situations, we need to provide a default output to the calling microservice. So that fault tolerance needs to be implemented in the place. And service aggregation. What is service aggregation? Suppose a third party application is using your 10 APIs. So you cannot provide all 10 APIs. In the real time, it can be more. So you cannot provide all the 10 APIs implementation to the third party customer. Instead, you can provide just one endpoint, and internally you can connect with your 10 APIs and provide only single implementation to the end user or to the third party customer that is using your service. So that's called service aggregation. So these are all the features that you cannot implement one by one at the individual microservice level. These features only you can implement at the gateway level. So in this video, we are going to learn all about that. In this project, we are going to use a Joule API gateway that is provided by Netflix. So we will be learning how to implement a Joule gateway. There are 3 steps in implementing a Joule gateway in your project. First of all, you will create a component for the Joule gateway. That is nothing but a Joule microservice they will create. And the second thing is what your Joule gateway will do. What are all the action that it has to perform when it intercepts any request. And the third thing in the Joule gateway is make sure your API gateway is hitting the correct microservice and giving the correct response. So these all things we will be looking. Now let's start with the step number 1, that is creating a Joule microservice. So now we are going to bring a starter project. So you already know how to create a new project. Go to file, new, bring a starter project. You need to change the application name that you want to give. The name we are giving is Netflix Joule API Gateway Server. Artifact ID, that will be same. Then the package name will be Joule API Server. Click on the next button. Now here we are using the constant version of Spring, that is 2.2.2. There is nothing to worry about that. We will change that later. Let it be 2.4.2. Now let's see one thing here. If you type the Joule here, you will see that you will not be able to add that. That's because Joule is now deprecated, and if you are using a version of a Spring that is greater than 2.4.0 or less than 2.0.0, you will not be able to use the Joule API gateway because that's in the maintenance phase and there is no support for this. So what we are going to do, we will keep this 2.2.12 for now, and we can add the Joule to our dependency. We will change that version later. Then we will need a discovery client, so Eureka discovery client. Then the next thing is actuator and DevTools. So we have got all these 4 dependencies. Click on the finish button. It will start downloading the dependencies. Now if you see here, we are using this Joule API gateway in the pom.xml. Let me stop this update first because we don't want this version of jars. We are using 2.2.2 consistently across our all microservices, and we will keep it as it is. And the Spring Cloud version that we are using is Exton SR1. So after that, let me save it and let me update it. So it will download the dependencies. It will take some time if you are downloading this for the first time. Let us see what all the things we have got in this pom.xml. We have got actuator, and we have got Spring Cloud, Netflix Eureka client, and Netflix Joule. then the dev tools, and that's what we have got. The dependencies are downloaded, and let's start our development of Joule API Gateway. The first step we have completed, that is creating a new component that we have created already, and let us add some compulsory annotations here. That is, we are going to enable the Joule API proxy. So the annotation that we will use is enable Joule proxy, and the next thing is we will enable the discovery client. So we have done the compulsory changes. Now let's go to the application.properties and name our application. Let me copy this from any other application so that it will be easy for us to change it. We'll go to currency calculation service and let me copy this. And we will use it in our Joule API Gateway server. The name of the application, Netflix Joule API Gateway Server. We'll keep the name as it is. So the port that we decided earlier that we are going to use for this project. So this is for the people who don't know, this is my website technotabs.com, and here you can refer all those projects and download the source code from here. You just need to go to Spring Boot section here, and if you go to Spring projects, it's still in the development phase. All the things are not yet developed. So microservice project with a Spring Boot and a Spring Cloud, if you click it here, you can download the source code. The latest will be uploaded here, and you can see all the port configuration that we decided earlier. I have kept it here. I will keep on updating these pages. The port that we are going to use is 8765. 8765. Where is our Eureka located? That we will leave it as it is. Let me save my application. We are done with the compulsory things that we have to do in our application. Let me zoom a bit because this will not be visible. I'm really sorry I didn't say this, but let me show you again. Let me zoom this one as well. Okay, this is okay. I hope you can see it more easily now. So the next thing is that we are going to do is we are going to create some of the components of Joule API Gateway Server. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to implement a Joule API Gateway logging filter. So we will create a class and we will name this class as Joule logging filter, and click on the finish button. So first of all, this is a configuration, so we will give @configuration. This class should extend Joule filter. Joule filter has some predefined methods that we have to implement if we want to extend this class. So let's see what are all those methods. So you can see that there is a method called should filter, the run method, the filter type, and the filter order. Filter order is nothing but the order in which you are going to run this application. So you can return the filter number as 1 or 2. What is the order of your filtering? Let me remove these comments here. The filter type. So what is the filter type? So the filter type is nothing but you define whether you want to run this filter after your request has executed or before your request has to be executed. Basically, we use terms like pre and post, or if there are any errors, we have to filter that out. So we define the type of filter that we are going to use. In the run method, it's nothing but your actual implementation. What you want to do, you can keep it here. And the should filter, if you want to skip this filter, you can just make it false. By default it is false, but we don't want to skip this filter, so we will keep it true. And in the run method, your actual implementation goes in. If any request comes in, I want to get the instance of that request. We'll be using request context dot get current context dot, we'll use get request. Okay, so we have got the current request. Let me save it to somewhere. Let's say HTTP. Let's say it is a HTTP servlet request, and we will store that in a variable request. Okay, we want to perform a logging of the request. So let me get the SLF4j logger instance here. So how do we get an instance of SLF4j logger? Logger SLF4j logger factory dot get logger, and the class name Joule logging filter dot class. So we have got the logger. Now you can use the instance of this logger to log your request. Logger dot info. In the message, we want to show that what request it is getting. We'll give it request URL, the namespace, then we will give the actual request that we have already got it here. and we don't want to return anything from here, and this run method, let it return null. We just want to log this request. Let me save this and let's start our Eureka naming server first. So I'm going to start my Eureka naming server. I'm also going to start my exchange service. So there are three instances of currency exchange service. I will start the only one instance that is running on port 8000. We will also start our currency calculation service. So give it run as Spring Boot app. My STS will start misbehaving now because I've started 4 different applications. That's not a problem, but let's see. Let me open the boot dashboard so that we can see what are all the applications that we are running. Netflix Eureka naming server is up. Currency exchange service is up. Let me start the Netflix Joule API gateway as well. So you can see that in my boot dashboard all the 4 applications are up. Let me go to Eureka naming server. Then go to the local host. What is the port for Eureka naming server? Let me check it. It's 761. So let's see what's happening here. We can see that there are 3 instances. That currency calculation service is up, and the currency exchange service and the Netflix Joule API gateway server is up. So this is what we wanted, and let us execute any request. Will it go through the Netflix Joule API gateway server? Let's go and check it. We have not configured our requests to go through Joule API gateway. So what we can do, let me try to execute any request if it is going directly or if it is going through Joule API gateway. So click on this localhost colon 8000. Let me go to the controller of currency calculation service and take any request. So the currency converter to and from, let me take this. Okay, the from I want to keep it USD to INR and the quantity 1000. Click on enter. So there is no mapping to this. Let me change. So there is no mapping, obviously. 8100, the port that we're using is wrong one. 8100. Click on enter, and you can see that we have got USD from USD to INR. The conversion multiple that we kept it earlier is 70, quantity is 1000, and the multiplication, so we are getting it. Let's check on the logs once how it is going. So if you want to see a particular microservice log, you can click it here and you can go to that microservice. If anything is happening through Joule microservice, let me clear this console and again hit a refresh button. So if anything is happening on the Joule microservice logs, you can see the currency exchange service logs are only coming here. Let me change it to Joule microservice, and you can see that the Joule microservice logs is blank. That means that nothing is happening in Joule microservice. Our next target will be to send the request via this Joule API gateway. We don't want to send the request directly to other microservices. If we are going to call the currency exchange service, it should go from the Joule API gateway. We are going to test our currency exchange service. So our currency exchange service is hosted on port 8000. So we will convert from USD to INR. We are not calling our service through any gateway. We are directly calling our service. So let me refresh it, and if you come to the STS and see the logs, you will be seeing that we have the logs generated for currency exchange service application. And as you know, we are hitting this service directly. If you want to hit this service through Joule API gateway, you need to form this URL in such a manner that it should directly hit the Joule API gateway. So currently we have this URL, but if we want to hit this through the Joule API gateway, what we need to do, let's form the URL and HTTP localhost, the port where Joule API gateway is hosted. Let us check that. So the Joule API gateway is hosted on port 8765. After that, the application name will come, the application name, and after that the URI will come. So currently the application name for currency exchange service, we will go to STS and find out what is the application name for this currency exchange service. In the currency exchange service, we'll copy the name and paste it here, and in the URI, what service we are calling, that URI will be coming. So the URI for this currency exchange is this one. So now let's copy this URL and let's go to hit it through browser, open a new tab and just paste this and click on enter. So now you can see that we are getting the response which is same to same as the currency exchange service, but this time we are hitting it through Joule API gateway. And let's see the logs of Joule API gateway. So I've selected Joule API gateway and you can see that our logs are getting printed. We will check what is there in the log. If it's not clear, let me clear the log and hit the service once again. And let's come here and see what is coming in the Joule API gateway logs. So we are getting that our request URL, whatever we have given, that is coming here, but that is in this format, that is not showing in the format which we wanted. So let's see why we are getting like that. So to get the request in the correct format, you need to add request.get request URI, then you will be able to see the request correctly. So now let's go and hit the service once again, click on the refresh button, and let's go to the logs of Joule API gateway. So now we are seeing the logs of Joule API gateway, and you come to the right here, you can see that the request URL is getting printed currency exchange service, currency exchange USD to INR. So here we saw that our request is not going directly to the microservice we are calling. It's getting intercepted by the Joule API gateway, and we are making use of the logging filter to log the request which is currently under execution through the Joule API gateway. So let's review what we have done. We are calling the currency exchange service through this Joule API gateway directly. We are not calling this application directly. Now what we want to call the currency calculation service which is internally talking through this currency exchange service, but it is directly calling. But now what we don't want to call it directly, we want to call it through this Joule API gateway. So whenever a user comes in and hits a request for currency calculation service, it should go to Joule API gateway and then call the currency exchange service. So let's see how we can implement that in our STS. So the process is same here. All our applications are interacting with this Eureka naming server. So whenever any service is calling this currency calculation service, it is getting the instance of this currency exchange service. So we will tell our application to pick the instance of Joule API gateway, and Joule API gateway will call the currency exchange service. First of all, let's see how we are getting the output from the currency calculation service. So let's go to our browser and open a new request, localhost 8100, that is where currency conversion service is hosted, and let's see the output here. So this is what we are calling directly, and internally it is making the use of currency exchange service to get this data. So as of now, if you see here, you will not get anything in the logs for Joule API gateway. So what we are going to do, we will open this currency calculation service, and in the controller here, let us hit with the FEN client first. Obviously we'll get the same output here as well. Now we want to hit this through Joule API gateway. So how we can do that? So let's copy this URI and keep it in our notepad. So this is a call to the currency conversion microservice, and internally it will be calling this currency exchange microservice. So how we are making the call from currency calculation service to currency exchange service through a currency exchange proxy. So if you see here, the FEN client name we have given the currency exchange service. In place of this, we don't want to call this service directly. We want to call the Joule API gateway whenever it is intercepted. So what we will do, we'll just make a copy of this one so that we have a history of what we are doing, and let me paste it here. Let me comment this line, and here let us give the service name of Joule API gateway. So the Joule API gateway service name, we'll take it from the application properties of Joule API gateway. We'll copy this thing and we will paste it in here. So whenever this service is intercepted, it will go through Netflix Joule API gateway server. If you compare the URLs here, whatever we have written in the notepad, whenever it will call the Joule API gateway, it will take the service name and the URL. So it has made a call to the Joule API gateway. We have got the local host, but we have not got the service name here. So the service name, we have to append this in our URL here. So our URL will be something like this. Let's save this application and wait for the changes to pick up, and let's hit our service again. Let me clear the console of Joule API gateway. So now let us go to hit the service, this currency conversion service, and see what happens. Let's open the Joule API gateway server logs, and we can see that the request is getting intercepted, and the request currently is this one. So we saw that whenever we are making a call to currency calculation service, the internal call which is going to currency exchange service is through Joule API gateway. Let us do one more thing. We will keep the history of this ones. I'll just keep it enter. I will delete this one because it was our earlier URL. Let me comment out this line, and our current URL is this one. Let's do one more thing here. Whenever a end user wants to hit this service, it should go through Joule API gateway. So that's not a big deal. We have this URL here. We will copy this here. After that, we will give the application name. So the application name for the currency converter service, let's copy it from our currency calculation service. Let's copy it from our application properties, the currency calculation service, the application name. After that, what will come? The URI will come. So the URI is this one, and let's copy the whole URI. Let me clear the console of Joule API gateway, and let's open a new browser. And let's go to the Joule API gateway logs. Now if you see here that there are two requests. The first request is for currency calculation service, that is used by the currency calculation service, and internally it is making a call to the currency exchange service. So our both the requests are intercepted by Joule API gateway, and that's what we are seeing in the logs here. So this is all about the Joule API gateway. You have got a hands-on on how to use the Joule API gateway. So this completes the session here. One more thing I wanted to tell here, guys. I have not been uploading my videos for some time. That's because I have this new website which we launched a month back, and we want all your support for this website. The website is still under development as of 29 December 2020. You can come and visit whenever you want, and the things that we offer here is the tutorials on Spring, Java, Python, then the videos, all our videos you will get it in the videos section. Any new update about the videos you will get it here. So with that, we will see you in the next video on distributed tracing. So till then, bye bye, thank you.